Can we give Tamiflu or Zinamivir, Relanja as a prophylactic drug, or can I take to prevent the viral infection to myself? The following is the answer. There are two types of chemoprophylaxis. One is called the post-exposure prophylaxis. The other one is called the pre-exposure prophylaxis. Prophylaxis with antiviral agents post-exposure means a close household contact of a confirmed or suspected case who are at high risk of complications. These contacts, because they are associated with a case suspected or confirmed in their household, they are at a high risk of complications. Provided they have chronic medical conditions or they are more than 65 years of age or less than 5 years of age, or they are pregnant women, because their rate of complications are higher and they fall into the high risk group, and such contacts of confirmed or suspected cases can be given post-exposure prophylaxis. The duration of treatment for post-exposure prophylaxis is 10 days. Dose of Tamiflu is 10 milligrams once a day. Likewise, school children at high risk of complications who have been in close contact with a confirmed or suspected case should also be offered post-exposure prophylaxis. Travelers to highly contagious areas like Mexico and United States and some parts of the world where the active transmission is going on at a higher rate, and these travelers who have risk of complications, they can also be offered post-exposure prophylaxis. Healthcare providers or public health workers who are not using appropriate personal protective equipment PPE during close contact with a confirmed or suspected case while discharging their duties, they also can have post-exposure prophylaxis of Tamiflu 10 days, every day 75 milligrams. The other group of prophylactic treatments are pre-exposure prophylaxis with antivirals, particularly Tamiflu. Any healthcare provider who is at a risk of complications, like persons with the doctor or the nurse being a case of chronic medical condition, or who is more than 65 years, or who is pregnant, they can always have a pre-exposure prophylaxis in spite of not having been in contact with any case or confirmed or suspected. These are the conditions in which chemoprophylaxis with Tamiflu antiviral agent is recommended. Otherwise, routine use of Tamiflu just to prevent the disease has no meaning and is not worthy at all, because when there is no active viral multiplication and there is no viral fixation, this neuraminidase inhibitor is not going to do any help to that individual. Second thing is that might brood resistance for the drug, and drug resistance H1N1 will be further difficult to handle in the community. So please refrain from taking Tamiflu indiscriminately, even if it becomes available. Right now it is not available in the private sector, but even if it becomes available, please do not do it unless there is a specific indication as listed on this slide. Do we have a vaccine for this particular H1N1 pandemic? No, vaccine is not available as yet. Seasonal flu vaccine is available. These flu shots, which are directed at the conventional H1N1 influenza, are not effective because the antigenic structure on the outer coat of this variant virus H1N1 is different than the antigenic structure of the seasonal influenza. So much so, seasonal flu shots are not effective. So they will be effective for seasonal flu, but not for H1N1. So what is the state of vaccine development? Very much progressed. H1N1 virus has to be isolated first. This step has already been passed. This H1N1 virus has to be identified, then proper characterization and isolation has to take place, then the seed virus will be developed. Once the seed virus is developed, pilot lots will be developed, and these pilot lots will be scaled for commercial production. At that stage, these lots will be tested clinically for evaluation under vaccine testing evaluation units, and once these evaluation units confirm the protective immunity, then commercial production will start. Once the commercial production has completed formulations, filling of the bottles and delivery, the logistic mechanisms will be there. Right now we are in this phase of vaccine development as far as H1N1 pandemic influenza virus is concerned. In a month or so, these commercial productions will be complete and all clinical evaluations will be over, and WHO will grant permission to release the vaccine for the community on the advice of international agencies like CDC, FDA and others. Once the vaccine is made available, then of course the doses, that number of doses to start with are going to be smaller in number. So naturally there will be constraint of resource, vaccine resource, there will be prioritization, and it is proposed that the healthcare workers will be prioritized and given priority for the vaccination. There will be other groups, high risk groups also will get priority, and then of course the general community can receive the vaccination when the vaccine is available in large quantities. But we have to wait for at least a month and a half. And Government of India has asked 3 laboratories in India, the Serum Institute of India, and then the Pinacea Biotech and the Bharat Biotech. All 3 have been licensed to import the seed virus and go ahead with commercial production and testing. And once it is available, Government of India is thinking of making it available for a very low cost of around 300 rupees per dose. So it's not yet known whether we need 1 dose or 2 doses 1 month apart, and that also will be finalized after the virus initial clinical evaluations are over with the vaccine. So that's the situation as far as the vaccine for swine flu or H1N1 pandemic is concerned. Now we have the last section coming up, and that is the summary and conclusions, where we are going to sum up what we have just learned during the presentation so far, and with that we will be able to come to some conclusions of what we have to do and what we should tell our patients.